Right guys, welcome back, and as you may have noticed, things have been slightly chaotic round here recently, and that's because I have got a huge amount going on. I'm working really hard behind the scenes to just make sure that we can get things in place for projects like the BMW, the M111, and a possible secret build that's not a secret. Actually, let's just get it out there. Would you guys like to see a budget track car build using Carrie's old Mini? Let me know in the comments. I think it could be quite a fun little build, but I can't say for sure that I can do that just yet. But we need to focus on what we've got in hand. That is the Beamer. That has got its MOT coming up in November, and I've got quite a lot I need to sort on that. And as you can see, we've got M-Tech on board with brakes for this thing. There'll be a video coming up about that. We have wheels on it, as you may have already seen from the video last week, and we also have some progress on the M111 build. I have finally found some bearings that should do the job. Basically, the struggle with this has been the fact that I have a reground crank and I need 0.25 the size rod bearings. Shouldn't be a challenge, right? And so the Smart, well, the Smart's just working, which is not what you'd expect. This car doesn't seem to be very good at that normally, but I think we're about getting there with it. So since you last saw it, it's got a new exhaust on it, a new turbo, a billet wheel turbo just to help with the load and maybe longevity. We'll have to see with that one. And to be honest, it's just a fun little car to run around in, and does the job pretty well, apart from when you hit a pothole and it feels like you've just nosedived off a cliff. So I've also been investing in some tools to help out around here, and though they're cheap, they will help out a lot. I've got another engine stand, and you're probably wondering, why have you got another engine stand when you've got one there that's perfectly good? Well, it's because I want to put the M111 block that we are using to build the Frankenboost engine on this one, whilst keeping that one on that stand. And I would like to rebuild that engine and see if we can salvage what's left of it. Now, that will mean using the pre-Evo head on the Evo engine and the Evo head on the pre-Evo engine, which doesn't sound like it makes much sense, but the bores are slightly better on our block, which is why I'm not using that one. That said, I've got a little tool cart so I can keep all my tools and that in one place. I will probably most likely use it to keep the parts on, so I can keep the parts with the engine that we're working on. I'm also trying to work on getting the last head stud for the M104 engine, so we can maybe make a start on that at some point as well. And you will also notice on the channel that I've been working with various brands as well, from Vivor to M-Tech, and also most recently King Bolin with their latest eDiag Elite. Now, you'll see more of this in upcoming videos, and let's see what it can really do. This is going to be one more for those of you that actually have newer cars rather than this older stuff, but still, it's a surprisingly capable tool, and it did surprise me too. But there will be a full video coming up on this in the near future if you're interested. And so, as if that wasn't enough, I have thrown the Mini Countryman into the mix, because that has a DPF fault that I've been meaning to sort for quite some time now, where it is not regenning. The DPF is now fairly well contaminated, and I think I'm going to need some chemical cleaner through it to try and free up some of that soot, because it is soot because it hasn't been doing passive regens, because the journeys that it used to go on never really reached the RPMs or speeds that it would do a passive regen at, allegedly. Either way, it's not been regenning, it's clogged itself up, and it just needs cleaning. So hopefully I'll be able to get that done, because otherwise it means I have to remove that. Now, yes, removing a DPF shouldn't be that much trouble, but in that car you pretty much have to take the whole front end out and move the engine forward. Not fun, and I don't really want to do it. That's a big job, and I don't get much time during the week. So, that said, there's a lot happening. A hell of a lot happening, and it's a lot for the short time that I have to be able to knock content out. but I'm working as hard as I can, believe me, to make all of this fun for you guys to watch and focus on the editing quality, which I hope you guys can appreciate. I've been putting a lot of time into the videos that I've been making recently, even the ones promoting products, because I care about what you guys view. Like, I'm a one-man band, so it's hard to make filming it that interesting, but I do try in post to make the shots a bit more creative and that. That said, stick around. I hope you enjoy what we've got coming up, and thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, help us grow, help us reach more people. I'll see you in the next one.